Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chef Guru with Keema Matar. Keema is minced meat and Matar is green peas. I have here with me 500 grams of minced meat, which has been well ground into granular pieces. Now, what we'll be doing is we'll be adding this minced meat to a bowl, and to this, we'll be adding approximately around a half a cup of water. Now, what this water would do is when you're trying to cook this minced meat along with the other ingredients, this would not allow this minced meat to form lumps. So, that is what the water would help you with. So, I'm just folding all the meat one by one within so that it accumulates all the water content and we'll keep it aside. I've grabbed a pan to which I've added 4 tablespoons of Desi ghee or clarified butter. When it is hot enough, we'll be adding half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, followed by 2 teaspoons of ginger garlic paste, and we are right now cooking at a medium flame. We'll try to saute this along until the raw smell of the ginger garlic paste wafts through the air and you can smell it really nice. We'll add 4 chopped onions after cooking for around a minute or two. Make sure you have chopped the onions pretty fine because they have to disappear into the keema, into the minced meat when you are cooking it. We'll try to saute this along with the ginger garlic paste until the onions are translucent. And well, I made a mistake here, which is probably I'm using a steel spatula here because I didn't know where I had placed my wooden spatula while I was cooking this, so I just grabbed the steel one, even though I'm cooking on a non-stick pan. So it's okay, sometimes mistakes do happen. It proves I'm a human being just like you, isn't it? So we'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, ladies and gentlemen. What the salt does is it emancipates and accelerates the process of cooking the onions, and the onions cook a little faster than they usually take. So the onions have turned almost translucent. I've been cooking around since 4 minutes now, and we'll add 2 chopped green chilies here. Saute this nicely. It's been almost 5 minutes since I've been cooking the onions along with the ginger garlic paste. And now we'll reduce the flame and we'll add 6 chopped tomatoes. Once again, the tomatoes also, you have to make sure that you've finely chopped them. We'll add a few spices, 1.5 teaspoon of coriander powder, and if you remember, we have reduced the flame. Otherwise, your spices would tend to get burnt. We'll follow with 1 teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, and a quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, and we'll saute all this together. And mix up everything. If you really want to cook the tomatoes along with the spices, the best way is to cover the pan with a lid and then cook the tomatoes at a low flame for around 5 to 7 minutes. And let the steam do all the magic. So tomatoes never cook in an open pan properly. Always whenever you're cooking tomatoes, make sure you cover with a lid and cook them. So I'm covering this with the lid. Will cook for 5 to 7 minutes. And also remember, you have to cook at a very low flame, otherwise the tomatoes would stick to the bottom of the pan. Now it's been around 6 minutes and I'm going to take the lid off. Let's see what the status is. So as you can see, the ghee, the oil has oozed to the top of the surface, which means the tomatoes have left your ghee alone, and that what signifies that the tomatoes have now cooked along with your onions and spices, and we are good to go. And you can also see nothing has stuck to the bottom of the pan because I kept the flame pretty low. It's time for us now to add the half a kilo, 500 grams of minced meat, which we had mixed along with the half a cup of water. And now we have to fold in and mix together the minced meat with all the masala that you have prepared. And that's what we'll be doing right now. At this stage, you may increase the flame from low to medium and very gradually, gently mix up everything. And as you can see, since we had added that half a cup of water to the meat is pretty tender and there are no lumps being formed. And in fact, by the time your meat cooks along with the mixture that you have added right now, the water that you added would have evaporated by then. We'll add in 1 teaspoon of salt. If you remember, we had added 1 teaspoon of salt when we were sauteing the onions initially in the beginning. And we'll mix this up pretty well. It's time for us to now add some green peas. I'm adding a handful of green peas. Now these green peas are frozen peas which I had bought from a store, and when I took them off the refrigerator, I just dropped them in water at room temperature for some time, and I just added them here in front of you. We'll cover this with a lid and cook this at a very low flame for around 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure the flame is pretty low, otherwise you would tend to burn your dish. It's been 20 minutes now, and let's see what the status is. As you can see, the oil is oozing totally at the top. It is surfaced up, which means your Kheema Matar has been properly prepared now. To add to taste, we'll be squeezing in half a lemon. Make sure you do not add a lot of lemon because you've added tomatoes already, and tomatoes have added to some sourness here. So please do not add too much of lemon, you will spoil the whole recipe. Let's garnish this with some fresh coriander leaves and mix it up pretty well. When you're making Kheema Matar, you have to make sure that a little amount of moisture, as you can see, should be available in your curry, in your Kheema Matar. And that is what adds to the taste. And if you evaporate every bit of moisture in your Kheema Matar, it would really not taste good and it will become really hard. The mutton will be pretty chewy in nature, it won't be tender at all. So make sure you allow for a little moisture and make sure you serve it with naans, chapatis, rotis, fulkas, pav, anything. Thank you for watching Kheema Matar.